Hello and welcome to this webinar with Runa Magnusdottir. This is the last webinar we have before Elevate 2014 when Runa is coming to speak. And I'm so happy to have Runa from Iceland speak on a webinar again. Last webinar was a really big success and we got a lot of great feedback, Runa. And we are so happy to have you to speak Elevate and talk about personal branding, and I look forward to listen to you again tonight. So just short introduction, I give the word to you, Runa. Thank you for showing up.
Well, thank you, Petter, and what a pleasure it is for me to be part of the Elevate group. It's a true honor. And talking about excitement, you have no idea how excited I am to be part of your amazing event at the end of this month. Absolutely something that I can't wait to experience and be part of. And thank you for inviting me to do another webinar. I'm so pleased that people were giving nice comments and they were coming in and they actually got a few personal emails from people who attended the last time with wonderful questions, and it's just proves to me that the world that we are living in today is so ready for authenticity, for the real thing, for real leadership, for people who really want to do things that has purpose, that has a meaning for them and for their business. And that's what I'm really all about, helping professionals to find that coreness in themselves, the thing that makes them who they are, and help them to identify, I call it the X factor, and I help them identify that as well as how do they actually brand that. So let's go into the branding thing. And if you hear a little thing called like a dog barking, it's my dog who is barking, so see how cozy it is over here. So I hope that she doesn't, I'm trying to keep her still as I'm doing this, but let's get into the whole thing. Branding, that seems to be the concept that many people are thinking about today. How do I brand myself? How do I brand my business? What is a brand? And maybe we should really start to think about that. What really is a brand? There's often when I ask this question in my seminars and when I'm speaking and I ask my audience, what do you feel is a brand? I get all types of answers, but most often people answer me with iPhone is a brand, or Apple is a brand, or IBM is a brand, or they name a hotel chain and they say that's a brand, which is all true. That's all a brand. But when it comes to branding and your personal branding versus your company branding, there are actually similarities between the two that is really interesting to look into, because whether you're a business owner or not, whether you are thinking about building your brand or not, the fact is you are already a brand. There is already something that you are known for. And that something is what comes up in other people's mindset when they think about you or your company, or both. So let's just dig a little bit into what is a brand. My explanation is very simple. I try to keep things simple anyway. I say your brand is really your promise to your network and to your customers. The brand is both telling them what they can expect from you, what you promise to do, and as well what you promise you will never do. The same thing goes with your company brand as for you as your own personal brand. A brand should, and a strong brand should really show instantly what is different from you as a person and your competitor. And when it comes to personal branding, it is really about who you are, who you want to be, if that's the same thing, And most importantly, it's just how people perceive you. So if you find that you're not actually getting something out of the life today that you had hoped for, well, that's most likely the reason why. So I just want to go over a few things that I see so often that people are misconception when they think about branding. And then what I really want to go is to take you through what I call the 12 steps to build an awesome, authentic personal brand. But let's start with first with what is a brand and what is not a brand. It's a common misconception to say that brand is your logo. It's not. It's common misconception to say that brand is your website. It's not. And it's a common factor to say the brand is your business card. It's not. And it's a common factor to say that branding and personal branding is just for celebrities. I don't agree. In fact, I would say it's all that plus everything else. It is your logo, it is your website, it is your business card, and it is not for celebrity, it is for people such as yourself. If you simply want to be known for something that is of value, then it is for you. So when all of this is combined and it's done with consistency and it's done with clarity and it's done with purposeful thing that shines through the whole thing, that's when trust and all of those elements that every single one of us needs in today's business world, in this fast growing thing that is just you constantly have to be showing who you are. So this is important. Branding is important. It's an umbrella of everything. So just to tell you a little bit about the brand called Runa, moi. When I'm asked, who are you? What is your X factor? I guess that I probably my X factor, the thing that I'm mostly known for today is my character, my enthusiastic way of doing things, that I really like to see results from people that I'm working with, and that is all part of my X factor, part of my brand. I do that. It's something that is just part of me. I'm not faking it. And as a matter of fact, it took me quite a long time to develop or understand that what was just natural for me was something that I should not be hiding. It's actually something that I realized that I should show it. So when we fall into this trap that I definitely fell into, and I talk about it in my book that is just being published next week. When I discovered my own brand, I really discovered that who I am and what I stand for, I should not be hiding that. That is exactly what differentiates me from all the other speakers out there, all the other coaches out there, all the other experts out there, is exactly who I am, what I stand for, how do I deliver things that I do it in a natural way. I do it in a way that I just feel I'm there and I can be whole and I can be real for people that I'm working with. So that's the brand called Runa. I've noticed as well when I'm doing my speaking engagements worldwide, when I introduce myself and I can come up with all these fancy things about I'm a co-founder and this and that, and I'm part of this and that, and all of these branding by associations and by achievements and all of those things that I can brand myself by, it really what catches people's attention is when I tell them why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I tell them something that is really me. That's when I just see their ears and their eyes rise up and they think, I want to know more. Because at the end of the day, people, they do connect with other people, and people buy from another people that they know, they like, and they trust. So a strong brand, if I am really a strong brand and I do everything that I try to do to step into that, owning my own brand, I have to take the consequences of there are people who do not like me. And there are people who do like me. So in this huge world where everything is happening online, you have to take that risk. And I can tell you, the moment you decide that you are going to go full force into just being who you authentically are, that's when magic begins, and that's when you really, really start to see the results. Enough about me. Your brand, your personal brand, is what other people say about you when you leave the room. So, and I often use this very simple tool, and I shared it last time, and people said, wow, I can't believe it. This is so simple. But yes, it's so simple. The thing that you can do instantly, that can help you build the brand that you want to be known for, is to think about the feeling that you want to give into the room and the feeling that you want to give into other people's mindsets, because that's the thing that's going to stick with them. So be clear on that. But I promised that I was going to tell you about, in this webinar, about my 12 steps to build an awesome personal brand. It's actually part of 20 steps that I have created, and it's actually part of a training that I do, where I go really, really deep into each and every 20 steps. But I'm just going to share with you the 12 steps, with hope that it at least gives you a little idea of what it is that I'm talking about when I'm talking about branding and talking about personal branding. So let's just throw ourselves into the deep end of the pool and go with it. Number one, the step that you can take instantly is to figure out, what is it that you stand for? What is it that you will never, no matter what, change? This is a huge thing, because once you know what you stand for, that's going to be the thing that other people will talk about. And remember what I said, your brand is what other people say when you're not in the room. So think about, what is it that I stand for in life? And it is actually this, in the whole, all of these 12 steps that I'm sharing with you, by the way, most of them are steps that you can instantly start to implement more into your day-to-day life, and is a great way to get a help from a coach or a mentor, or even have, if you're in a mastermind group or whatever you're doing to help your personal growth. But it really is important, because you as a business owner, or you as a professional, you want other people around you to instantly feel what it is that you stand for. And in order to do that, you have to be clear on that yourself. Step number 2, value your uniqueness. I can't talk about everyone, but I'm telling you, this thing about undervaluing ourselves is just such a common thing. And it is within the Scandinavian culture. It is like a no-no thing to say that I'm unique. And we have to somehow get over that thought. You are unique, and there is something that is special about you. So instead of putting yourself down on the things that is already naturally you, figure out a way to communicate that you feel you're not bragging or anything that is unauthentic, but just start to talk about your strength. And the more you get used to talking about your strength and what it is that you want out of life, it becomes more natural for you. But by all means, value it. It is already something there. Step number 3, be true to yourself. Simple. Be true to yourself, to whom you are. And think about that, who you are in everything that you're doing. Make sure that every decision you make on a day-to-day basis is something that you can stand by, is something that you can go back to and you feel good about making that decision. Be true to yourself. It's a big one. It's a huge one. in fact. Step number 4. When you are building an awesome personal brand, it is about you as an individual, but it is always going to be about people who are around you, the people that you surround yourself with. And you probably have heard this thing about tell me who you hang out with and I will tell you whom you are. Or there's another thing that is quite common, tell me about the 5 people you hang out the most with. And who are they? You are going to be part of those people. So build relationship with people that you can both give something into and that you can get something from. And when I'm saying that purposeful relationship, build something that has a meaning. And the moment you step into relationships that have a meaning, that is purposeful, that has some sort of a guidance in it, that's when really your network is starting to work for you. It isn't just about collecting business cards and then you're going to get something from people. It isn't that way. You really have to think about your network and building relationship with meaningful presence. Step number 5. Listen more and speak less. How about that one? I'm sure there are many people who go gulp right now thinking, yeah, maybe I should listen more and speak less. I mean, come on, we all know that. We all know we should listen more and speak less. But are we doing it? And can we actually improve our own leadership style by simply doing a slightly more of that on a day-to-day basis? Think about it. What would it actually give you if you would start to listen? And I'm talking about active listening. Listen to your network and listen what they're truly saying to you, about you, around you, and start to create your own judgment from that point. Step number 6. We're halfway. Show gratitude. This little thing about showing gratitude is always surprising me every time I think about it, but at the same time, it's not surprising me. It is surprising me when I even talk to people who are on the top level in the business world, in the executive role. People who are MPs in politics, people who we all think have made it. Even those people that we look up to, they are also waiting to be sure that people are showing them gratitude for the things that they're doing. This little thing about showing gratitude to others seems to be so big for all of us. And the moment we as individuals start to tap into that and we start to give more of gratitude to our network when we are building purposeful relationship, as an example, that's when really things start to happen. So as much as everything is about you, think about how you can show to your network your gratitude for everything that they are doing for you, and pay attention to the magic that happens afterwards. Step number 7. We got to have clear future vision. That is essential. And a very strong personal brand that has a clear vision, that their network knows where they're going and they are following them and they are loving it, looking at them, just heading down the road. Those are brands that stand out. But the thing is, it's one thing to have clarity where we're going. It's a whole another thing to live in the now, to be able to enjoy every little baby steps, both wins and hurdles that are on the way, because it's bound to happen. So have future vision, but live in the now. We're going to go into step 8. Am I going too fast? I hope not. I'm having this. Hope that I'm not actually. Step number 8, embrace mastery. Embrace the things that you are already good at. And if there are things that you have become good at for some accident that you would like to change it to become good at something else, then start today. Or actually, I should say, start yesterday. The moment you start to do the things that you really like to do and you practice, that's when you become really good at something, just like the athletes, and embrace it. Talk about it. Allow yourself to be that person. Step number 9, honor your values as you honor other people's values. What do I mean by that? Well, I think the minute you know your own values and you start to understand why they are important for you, you start to understand other people, the people that are working with you, your family, your friends, your co-workers, your people who are underneath you or above you. You start to understand why they're behaving the way they're behaving, and that makes you actually, it's easier for you to communicate them, and it's easier for you to get them to be engaged with the projects or with whatever it is that you want to engage them with. So honor your values as you honor other people's values. We are coming into step number 10 out of the 12 that I'm going to share with you. And as you can probably see on these slides, I'm talking about 20 altogether. But got to give something away. Step number 10. If you are really determined to build an awesome personal brand, make sure that everything that you do is showing that you are the solution, not the problem. Well, unless your profession is to show and find the problem in everything, maybe this doesn't apply to you. But for most of us, being known for being the solution, not the problem, is benefiting and is something that I think most of us would like to be known for. How do you do that? Well, it is really linked with listen more, speak less. It is really linked with that part, and it's linked with actually everything that you're doing. It's linked with your mindset. Is your mind do you have your mindset? Is it half full or half empty if it's a glass? Or is it actually overflown because you're so optimistic all the time? All of this has a big influence into how other people see you, how other people perceive you as well. So be the solution, not the problem. I'm going to step into step number 11. And this one is a biggie. Be clear. Focus on what you really truly want. Forget what you don't want. This one is so huge. Really it is. And I'm actually in my presentation at Elevate, I am going to go lot deeper into this one particularly. And I am actually going to take my audience on a ride onto the future vision ride when I'm there. So I do hope that you're going to be there, because that's going to be a transformational journey. The thing is, I meet more people who are extremely clear what they don't want in life than what they actually want. And when I'm saying clear, that's as clear as you can possibly get. Write down what it is that you want and write another sentence of what does that mean and how does that look like and how does that feel and Who are you when you are there? And all of those things. Be clear on the things that you want. And I can also share with you what I've seen as well. Then when we are really clear on what we want, the thing that I see again and again, it is knowing what we want and doing everything that we possibly can to get there seems to be even more effective than the actual how do you get there. So it's give more time on the what than thinking about the how. But I'm going to go much deeper into this part when I'm at the Elevate. Gosh, I'm looking forward to that. We're going into step number 12. Decide to speak, act, behave like a leader. Now, what do I mean by that? You say, I look at every single one of us as a leader. We should be leading our lives. And whether as you don't feel that you are a leader, well, the moment you step into your own, the leader within, that's when you can really start to honor yourself, honor others, and speak and act like a leader. That will instantly change your career. That will instantly change how you feel about yourself. And that would instantly give your personal brand a whole different perspective in the eyes of others. So decide to speak, act, and behave like a leader. I bet you're getting really excited about how do the other 8 steps sound like. Well, I'm not going to share that with you right now. I am, however, going to share with you 2 more things that I do hope is of value for you. Because my purpose with all of this is really to help professionals to understand that they already have what they need to succeed. It's right there in front of their, well, I explain that in my book. But anyway, talking about my book, which I'm so thrilled about to talk about. If you have not already downloaded my 2 free chapters, I invite you to do so today. It's actually will be ready to launch next Tuesday, October 14th, called Branding Your X Factor, How the Secret to Success is already right in front of your, well, you have to find out where it's in front of. But anyway, download free today, and I do hope that that book, those 2 chapters, will give you slightly more insight into your personal brand and how you can build a personal brand. I have another little gift that I want to give you as well. And that is, if you go into my Personal Branding Academy, you can find loads of stuff that you can actually download, things that can instantly give you step-by-step process to build the brand that you really want to be known for. And finally, I want to share with you my little links that you can connect with me. You can connect with me through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter.
Runa,
I make it really simple.
The slides.
You don't see the slide?
No, but we can send it to them after the webinar.
Okay. The basic thing is you can look at me, Runa Magnus, on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Twitter, and I'm there. So with that, I bring it over to you, Petter.
Yeah, I think we have some questions maybe you can answer. We have one here who asks, how do you realize what I'm unique in?
How do you realize what you're unique in?
Yeah.
You realize that it's actually a process. And Caroline, thank you for that question. In my book, I take people really step by step in that. But the easiest maybe to answer just out of like this is to listen to what other people are saying about you and really listen carefully, because most likely what you are unique in is something that you don't pay any attention to because it's just so naturally you. So that is one process, and just out of many. It is interesting, isn't it, Carolyn, and everyone on the phone, on the call? We are talking about us. We're talking about us as persons, and it's interesting that it actually does take a little while for us to dig into those things that are just authentically who we are. But it is worth it. I hope that answers your question, Carolyn.
Thank you, Runa. If someone has some more questions, they can come with them now. I have a question for you. Why did you choose to start, or where did you get the passion to talk about branding from?
The branding part in my career evolved really from the economic crash in Iceland 2008, believe it or not. So when everything crashed over here in Iceland, that made me start to think about myself. Who am I? What do I stand for? And I've been a business owner, small business owner, for, well, it's almost 30 years now, and that actually working with other people, working with I had an online platform for women entrepreneurs, and I noticed that despite the fact that they were signing up for my platform from all over the world, thousands and thousands of women, they were signing up for this platform, but they didn't know how to communicate themselves. They didn't really know how to promote themselves. And as I've always been keen on marketing and branding myself, I started to realize that, hey, this is my X factor. I can probably help them out here.
Cool. And where did you get the idea to write the book from?
The book is in the idea came, how can I spread this simple methodology to people worldwide? As I've seen that with my training, with my seminars, and the things that I've been doing worldwide, I can only do X many things as an individual. But I can see, and my programs I've been so fortunate to receive several international awards for my programs, that I can see it's something that is of value to others. So that was my original thought. How can I spread this out? How can I create something that is of value to others, so that they understand that it's really not about all the things that you think is going to give you the success that you're looking for or the happiness that you're looking for. It is already there, right as you are today, and you just have to acknowledge it, and you just have to realize that you are enough. And that's what I wanted to open up to people and give them the tools that they can use to promote themselves, that they can use to feel good about themselves.
Thank you. And what is about Elevate 2014, what is your thought about people coming to an event like that? What can happen on a 3-day event like that for the people who are attending?
Oof. Every time I go to an event, and I know Elevate is beyond everything, it's a transformational thing. It is. You are meeting people that are your peers. You're meeting people that you might be communicating with. You might be creating collaboration, or you might be creating something together afterwards. It is an event like this is an event where you should basically just think of it as a place where you can just absorb all these different, both knowledge from the speakers who are incredible, the ones that are there. I'm so honored to be sharing stage with those speakers, and you have this platform that when you're connecting with other participants, you're connecting to a different level than when you're connecting with people on just on a day-to-day life, because everyone who is there, they are there because they want to improve themselves, and it is such a fantastic feeling to be with people who want to improve themselves and feel that you belong to that gang. It's just magical.
Thank you. What makes me really excited about this year is that I had a dream that we can help teenagers more, because I remember myself when I was like 16, 17, 18. I was going out there and buying expensive clothes looks cool, because I thought that if I look cool, everyone will like me. Mm-hmm. And I maybe start to drink alcohol because I was thinking, if I drink a lot of alcohol, people like me. Mm-hmm. And when I first went to my first personal development seminar when I was 24, it was UPW with Tony Robbins. Mm-hmm. I realized that it's not about that. So this year we have got a Danish guy called Nikolai Moltenet. I don't know if you know him, but he has run a kids camp or teenager camp for teenagers in Denmark with a huge success. He had 11,000 kids through it, and he will run parallel session for every teenager. So if someone on your line have a teenager or know a teenager, we just charge 1,000 kroner, was like 150 euro for 3 days for a teenager, and they will get their own program when we have business speakers on there, because he will take care of them. But what do you think about that idea, Runa?
I basically think that this world is waiting for authenticity and transparency, and I think that every one of us who step into that our own power there and do like he is doing in Denmark, or whatever it is that we can actually do to create better lives for our children, for our teenager, and for ourselves, and just basically people that are around us. The world is so waiting for that. So it is really up to us. What is it that I want to leave behind? Is basically what sort of a legacy do I want to leave behind, and not just look at others and say, oh wow, he or she, he can do it because da la 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 la. That isn't the fact. I mean, just a couple of years ago, Petter, you would not have asked me to be on your webinar. It is about taking the step, and it is about figuring out how do I do it my way, and what is important for me. And I agree with you. I think most of us can probably recall those teenage years when we thought, okay, I can be cool if I do this or I do that, and you try to fit in, when all you have to do is to feel good about standing out.
And I also think it's a lot of grown up or people who have the same feeling. They are thinking that they need to do something or they need to wear something, do something, look for something, yeah, to get friends or be recognized or get credibility what they're doing or whatever. But it's not like that. I think the world is changing, like you said. Like it's more about authenticity, and I really hope that so many of you will come to Elevate, because I can promise you 3 days is more like a festival than I went, because everyone will be on the same place for 3 days. We have houses around the conference area that everyone will stay in, and we'll have bars in the evening, and we will have a party on the Saturday night. It's a Halloween party, so everyone will be there, and we will have networking party on that night. So this is all about the speakers, a world-class speaker like Runa, and we have the best speaker in the world in different area. We have it in health, so you can know how you can sleep less and have more energy in your life and maybe live some more years. We'll have about team building, how you can build a team in your family or in your workplace so you can get better teams. And we'll have it like Runa will talk about branding. We have Nikolai will talk about how you can be a better parents, and he will also talk about for the teenager how they can get more personal leadership in their life and take charge of their own life and don't listen to everyone around them. And we have a amazing speaker talks about online marketing. He's looks, or they say he always look 2 years in the front of everyone else when it comes to online marketing. And we have an amazing speaker talking about business freedom. So if you want to grow your business or you want to start a business, you should come. And whatever, you don't need to have a business to come, because this is basically human skills you will learn there. And the people around you will just, the people will be there, will be your best friends for the rest of your life. And I think Runa and me knows this because we have been to so many events, and I get a lot of friends there.
Oh yeah, and it's a friendship that lasts.
It is. So I don't know if you have something more you want to add.
My last thing to add really to all of you, and I want really to emphasize this, get your butt out there, arrive at Elevate. If you are on this, if you see me at Elevate and you are on this call, then let me know that you will listen. I would love to connect with you in the social media. I would love to hear who you are and what it is that you want to accomplish by attending Elevate, and where you are in life. And I think all of us who are there are people who are very open to see all of us grow as individuals. So that's my last word.
Thank you. And we now have over 650 registered, and if you want to join, we can give you an extra good offer tonight. The normal price on the tickets is 6,000 for one general, it's 8,500 Norwegian for one VIP, and it's 14,000 for a diamond, and then you will eat lunch with the speakers every day. And if you buy a ticket today and want to bring a friend, you will get the second ticket for half price tonight. So if you want that or want to know more about the conference, you can call me. I will write my mobile number down here, so you can call me tonight, or you can send me an email on the email address. And Runa, if you could you send slides to me or something so we can send them out? Yeah. So we'll also send the slides out, and we're sorry that it didn't work so well with the slides. It was a technical problem. So yeah, and thank you for listening and using your evening for the webinar. And thank you to you, Runa. I know you're a really busy woman because of your book and everything going on around, and you're traveling to US and everywhere all the time. So thank you for using your time and letting the Scandinavian people listen to you.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Okay, goodbye.
Bye-bye.